Hey friends, it's Mel. Welcome to my kitchen. Do you love down-home country food but don't want to spend all day in the kitchen? This video is packed with helpful, time-saving tips and some shortcut hacks to help you enjoy the country food that you love in a fraction of the time. So if that sounds good to you, just sit back, relax, grab your sweet tea, and let me do the cooking. This week I have been craving some garden vegetables and some chicken, so I'm starting out my week by preparing a big sheet pan full of some thin chicken breast, and I'm just coating all these chicken breasts with a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to season them very liberally with my Auntie No-No's everything seasoning. That is salt, garlic, onion powder. I just use it in the place of regular salt anymore. Absolutely love it. And then I'm also going to hit it with my Auntie No-No's seafood seasoning. I use this on everything. I have even been sprinkling it on my salads. I love it. It's just got a lot of flavors I like. It's got the brown sugar, lemon, paprika, all that kind of blend. I love it on my chicken, seafood, whatever. I'm going to do both sides of this chicken, and then I'm going to put it in a 425 degree preheated oven for about 20 minutes. While my chicken is cooking up, I have washed my zucchini and my squash, and I am just cutting them up in little chunks and putting them in a big bowl. I'm also going to use about half of an onion chunked up in about the same size pieces. And I've got me a green tomato that I'm also just going to chunk up and throw in this bowl. Now, I have been doing my zucchini, squash, onions like this for a while now, where I put them in my bowl and I just throw some cornmeal and flour in there, a little bit of seasonings, and shake it around. And one of you guys told me to throw an egg in there, that it would help the batter to stick. So I decided to do that this time. I've got one egg beaten up, and I'm just going to put that over the top. And now I'm going to throw in my flour and my cornmeal. I'm going to season it up with some everything seasoning and some black pepper. And then I'm just going to put the lid on it and shake it all up till it's coated. And I have got this in my cast iron skillet. It's got some butter and oil heated up in it. I'm going to put it all in here, give it just a little bit more seasoning, and let this start frying up. Now, I will say, I think I like my regular method better, where I don't have anything in there that is coating, but I just put my flour and stuff in there, and it just sticks and makes it a very light coating on it, where I actually kind of sift it through a slotted spoon. But this was delicious, I'll say that. But I think I just like it the other way better. I try not to move it around too much, but I had more veggies in my skillet than I had room for. So I did need to move it around a little bit. This was a delicious dinner, so fresh, so good. I love to batter up my green tomatoes and fry them separately, but this is a quick, easy alternative just to throw it in here with your other veggies. It is so good. The chicken was spot on, delicious as always, and a fresh salad. And I'm going to use my chicken in some more salads this week. This is my take on the grilled chicken strawberry poppy seed salad from Panera. And I'm just cutting up my fruit here. The only thing that I did not have was the nuts. I didn't have any almonds or pecans or anything like that to put on my salad. And I did use a couple pieces of that chicken that I had already baked up this week. Tonight, all I had to do was chop up my chicken. Now I'm using a bag of the butter leaf lettuce. The salad from Panera uses romaine, but this is what I like. I'm going to top it with my grilled chicken. I heated it up just a little bit in the microwave. You can do that or you can leave it cold. Once I get to this point, I do like to put just a little drizzle of this creamy poppy seed dressing over the top of it. I'm going to throw me a good amount of strawberries on top of this. I like to use these little cups of mandarin oranges. I drain them and I'll eat a whole little cup on my salad. I had a big can of pineapple tidbits that I used. I didn't have any chunk pineapple or fresh, but I definitely had this and got it chilled in the fridge. It was perfect. And I had some blueberries in the freezer that I thawed out and kind of rinsed and drained them so they wouldn't leave a blue juice everywhere, and put them on top. This is one of my favorite salads to make at home. I will leave you a pin linked in the description box that will help you season your chicken just like they do at Panera, but I just used the regular chicken that I like to make on top of my salad. Now, some folks in my house did not want the Panera salad, but they had another type of salad. And we do this often in our house with grilled chicken or chicken tenders. We just use the same bed of lettuce, use some cheddar cheese, ranch dressing, croutons, cucumbers, broccoli, all the regular stuff, and have a grilled or fried chicken tender salad. So you could have either option. Okay, tonight's dinner is going to be cube steak. It's going to be super quick and easy. Well, it's going to be Crockpot. So it's going to be low and slow, but it'll be super quick and easy for me when dinner comes. If you haven't noticed a theme, this week is all about meals that will kind of do double duty or take very little effort. It's been a crazy busy week, and I just honestly needed a break, and I took it. So here we go. I've got 2 packs of cube steak. These are not the biggest packs, but these are what you will find in what I have as Food City, where they have these smaller packages, and you can always pick 5 of them for $19.99, but I wait until they run them on sale where you get 5 packs for $14.99. So that makes each of these $3 a piece. Still not as cheap as it used to be, but that's the best we can do right now. I'm going to throw this in from frozen. Like I said, I've not been on my A game, and you think I'm on top of everything? I am not on top of everything all the time. Do not be deceived, friends. I forgot to put this in the refrigerator to thaw out. I'm going to put it in my crock pot from frozen. I've never had a problem with that. Disclaimer, you're not supposed to put frozen meat in the crock pot, but I do it all the time. Anyhow, I'm going to throw that in with a little pepper, just a little bit of salt, because I'm going to mix this brown gravy mix with some water. If you had beef broth, you could do that. Also going to mix this cream of mushroom soup in. That'll make a yummy gravy. All I'll have to do is throw some mashed potatoes together and some other sides, probably green beans or something like that. So let's throw it in here. And in go my cube steak, and I'm using one of my smaller oval crock pots so that everything will get covered thoroughly with this gravy. I don't want it to spread out too much. Okay, I'm going to get my gravy mixture put together. Now these little packs like this that I get at Aldi, so cheap, they make about a cup of brown gravy, but I'm actually going to stir it into 2 cups of water. It's very salty, so it will be fine to dilute it, especially going into this. And I'm also going to put in this can of cream of mushroom soup. It's okay if it's a little watery, because I will probably take these cube steak out when they're finished cooking and thicken this gravy up, so it will be fine. Let's get the cream of mushroom mixed into this as well. Gonna crack some black pepper into this. Since I did not brown my meat up, I like to brown my meat up if I have the time before I put it in the crock pot, but that just didn't happen today, and I would have seasoned it up with a little bit of pepper then. But we're just going to put it into this gravy and pour it over the top. And here we go. All over. Stick the lid on this. I've got it on high. We're just going to let it cook all day. Okay, you just saw me put my thickener over into our cube steak. That was just a little flour and water. You can use cornstarch and water. Gonna get that thick. I've got green beans cooking up over here. I think you saw me put salt, pepper, butter, and a little brown sugar in those. Then I was gonna make homemade mashed potatoes. I had a few potatoes left in my potato bin, but today I've been pulling all my stock forward, actually getting into the long-term food pantry and pulling that stuff in to the regular pantry to start using it. And I found a few things that had got pushed to the back that I had missed. So I found this box of instant mashed potato flakes, expired in April, and I found 2 cans of evaporated milk, and these expired in March. We're going to take our chances. It's going to be fine. It's just June, and I'm going to make these and use this evaporated milk. If you use milk, that's fine, but anytime you can doctor these up with some cream or evaporated milk, it just makes them taste even that much better. And I'm not a snob about my potatoes anyway. I like these just fine. Then I also found this can of corn. I had bought 2 of these, this seasoned skillet corn. My family was not real crazy about it because it's not like cream style. It's a little more kernely. But you know what? It's not going to be wasted. I'm going to pull it out here. Whoever wants it can have it. It'll just be a nice addition. So let's get this done. As I said earlier, I was ready to take it easy this week. Dealing with some allergies had not been the best week. This cube steak was delicious. It is never tough when I make it in the crock pot. And we got rid of that can of corn too. Delicious, easy, and hearty. Now we had a big family dinner night. Started out the day before. I just took me a pound bag of pinto beans, and I always look through my beans really good just in case there's a bad bean or a little rock in them. Then you rinse them super well. You want to make sure and get them all clean. Then I just covered them in another bowl of water and I let them soak all day in that water in the refrigerator. Now, before I went to bed that night, I just rinsed those beans one more time and put them in my crock pot. I put water all the way to the top because I'm cooking these on high all night and the next day. And I seasoned them up with a pretty liberal hand of salt. The closest thing that I had was this deli ham, so I just chunked it up and put it in there. It did put off some good flavor. I put a little bit of oil in there too because, like I said, I didn't have any bacon grease or a ham bone or anything like that to use. So this worked out fine. I put them on high and I cooked them all night long and all day the next day. At my house, we just never know if it's going to be 2 of us or 4 of us or 5 of us or more. So this night we planned on having all of us here. I like to do that as often as I can so that we all get the opportunity to sit down and eat together. Now those potatoes that I ended up not mashing the other day, I just cubed them up and put them in a skillet full of butter and oil. I'm going to season them up and fry them up to go with our beans. I'm using again my everything seasoning and some pepper. And I want to show you guys my new cast iron skillet. This is a really big one. It's a 12-inch skillet. I had been needing a larger one. It won't even hardly fit in the viewfinder there. It's so big. It covers the entire surface of the largest eye on my stove, and this was quite a deal. If you ever go to the Lodge Factory in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee, they have a foundry there, and they always have like a scratch and dent section. Really not anything wrong with it. It's just not up to snuff enough to their standards that they send it out to the places where they sell. But they sell it cheap. And if you go during the Cornbread Festival, they have a lot of things even cheaper. Callie picked this one up for me for $10. Can you believe that? It had a $20 sticker on it, which was really a good deal, but she got half off that. So this was my first time using it. I actually, when she brought it in, I kind of set it aside and I, believe it or not, forgot about it. So I am tickled to death to be bringing this big bad boy out. Fried up those potatoes beautifully. And I try not to move my potatoes too awful much. I get them all coated in oil and seasonings. Then I get them in a single layer and I just leave them alone. When they're about 3/4 of the way done, I like to throw in a little onion to cook up with them. And Ryan made cornbread for us tonight. So there is his big pan of cornbread. Our yummy pinto beans. I just made a box of our favorite 3-cheese macaroni and cheese. We're fried potatoes looking good in that new skillet. And I opened a can of Margaret Holmes seasoned greens. You can't beat that. And I don't want to forget, thanks Lee's Chicken for letting me come through the drive-thru and grab some coleslaw while I was out that day. I just didn't want to fool with making it. I showed you a little footage at the front of this video of our little garden that's coming right along, and that little cucumber here came from there. So we're just tickled to death with that thing that is starting to produce. Friends, thank you so much as always for being here this week. I don't ever take your time for granted. I hope you're enjoying some of the new little twists and touches that I'm putting on my videos. I'm just trying to change up some music and do things just to keep it a little bit interesting. I hope you're enjoying that. I pray that you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and a blessed week to come. So I'll see you next week. And remember, I'm sending you love from my kitchen.